Welcome to the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. With me today, I have Tony Quintana. He is the Plant-Based Eating Program Manager for Animal Protection of New Mexico, where he works to make plant-based eating more accessible to all New Mexicans by engaging with restaurants and cafeterias to increase their plant-based options and conducting community outreach and education. He has over 10 years experience of conducting health education programs and has been doing vegan advocacy work for 4 years. He lives in Albuquerque with his wife, 2 sons, and dog, all of who are vegan. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, Tony.
Hey, Nancy.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me on the Vegan Pulse. I surely appreciate you taking time to do so.
Certainly. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. I want to start by asking you, what sparked your journey into veganism?
Yeah, so I always share with people what initially sparked my interest was hip hop. I've always been into hip hop, and lots of the pioneers from back in the day were always talking about healthy eating and particularly not eating meat. And that always just had me kind of wondering what that was about. And then when my wife became pregnant with our older son, so we were about to have our first child, that really woke me up to taking care of my health. I had a lot of health conditions, especially for someone in the early 20s.
Wow.
And it really got me thinking about, I want to be healthy for my kids. God forbid I have grandkids someday and I'm not around or I'm not in good health. Excuse me. So I just started researching, nutrition and how to be healthy. I was so lost. So reading all the books I could. My wife was with me as well, doing the research right along. And she was interested in veganism also because in college she had seen a presentation given by PETA about animal agriculture and, the realities of factory farming. And she had shared that with me. So we were both had that interest. And, the more research you do, or the more research we did, the more we learned. And the more it became clear that veganism is the only path for us. It's the clear choice.
That's wonderful. And all of you together living a vegan life, a compassionate life is just wonderful to know.
Yeah. And we have 2 boys now. Both kids they didn't have to be convinced of anything. Kids don't have to learn compassion. We're born with compassion and we unlearn it as we grow up. So we were able to kind of stop them from unlearning it and keep nurturing their natural compassion that they have. And they're, in a lot of ways, bigger advocates for veganism than we are.
It's wonderful. Like you said, I totally believe that we are born with compassion and it is taken away from us by society and family, whether intentional or not. So
Right.
kudos to you and your family for having vegan kids.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Animal Protection of New Mexico's plant-based eating program?
Sure, yeah. So it's one of our newer programs that launched in October 2018. And Animal Protection of New Mexico has always promoted plant-based eating through media, through communications. It's in our policies, we only have vegan food in the office and at our events and so forth. But now we get to take it to the next level and do more work around that. So we're doing outreach and education, providing, cooking demonstrations, nutrition classes, and resources on our website to help people transition or stay on a plant-based diet. So some of those resources include recipes. We have a vegan dining guide that helps people find places to eat, restaurants throughout the state of New Mexico that have good plant-based options. And then we're also working on a systemic level. So working with cafeterias and restaurants to actually get changes on their menu and add more plant-based options to their menu.
So if somebody has a restaurant or a cafeteria that they might be interested in encouraging them to eat, to have more plant-based meals on their menu, they can contact you, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And then from there, we can offer support to help plan their menu, or, help create a vegan menu if that's what they're interested in. We can look at their menu and just help them identify what ingredients they have on hand and what dishes they could make, without having to expand their ordering or what they carry, and also provide recommendations for products that they could carry if they wanted to add something, such as a vegan cheese or vegan beef, something like that. We could also bring in samples of different vegan beef or vegan cheese or vegan products that they can try with their team and try with their recipes and see what they like. And then the fun part, we help them promote, help them advertise. So
That's
we can
wonderful.
do, yeah, through different media and different channels, we can help them promote their options to make sure that they're successful in adding them.
What do you like best about promoting plant-based eating?
Yeah, so my favorite thing about what I do and just promoting plant-based eating in general is that it encompasses so many different causes into one. So there's so many different things that I want to work on, that I'm interested in advocating for. I want to advocate for animals. I want to empower people to improve their health, and there's so many human rights issues that I'm interested in working on. I want to advocate for the environment, and just by promoting plant-based eating, I can work on all of those things at one time. That's, the beauty of promoting plant-based eating, is it really supports so many different causes all at once.
And that's one thing people don't realize, that veganism has so many different aspects to it. It's not just about eating fruits and vegetables. I mean, there's a lot of things like climate and, working workers' condition and things like that. There's so many different aspects of it that I don't think everyone realizes.
Absolutely, yeah. So many different intersections, for sure.
I heard you babies.
I was gonna say, that's one of our struggles with recording our podcast, is we have to do it not when the mail's coming, or forget
Now,
that whole segment.
how have you shifted your work in response to COVID-19?
Yeah, so we had to do a lot of make some changes, because a lot of our work was, out in the world, working with people, doing classes. Um, so we switched all of that to online, and we're working on offering lots of virtual classes or virtual events, providing, more video resources and written resources. So doing more blog posts to just keep the resources available to people, online from our homes.
And you have
And
some webinars coming up as well?
yes, we do. Yeah, we have some online classes coming up. We have one on desserts, sweets and desserts. That was a request from our last class. People want to know about making delicious vegan desserts. And I think we can all use some, comfort food right now.
Yes.
So yeah, so we have that. We have a lots more in the works as well, online classes. And then we're just working to support local restaurants and local farmers as much as we can during this time. Um, the more support they can get, the better, of course. So we're just looking at different ways to keep advertising and promoting restaurants that have plant-based options. And we're also looking at ways that we can support people who need food and provide plant-based food for those in need as well.
Right. And what does COVID-19 lockdown look like for you?
For me, it means I stay home, except for walking our dog and kids and myself. So I've been spending a lot of time just getting to know my neighborhood through walking and running. Other than that, it's working full time here in my home office, and spending lots of all my free time with the kids, with the garden, with we're working on growing vegetables and fruit trees and doing that sort of thing, and lots of cooking, opportunity to try new recipes and, new foods that we don't usually buy, but the foods we do usually buy might not be available at the store. So what a great opportunity to try something different.
That's what I've been doing, going through my pantry and everything that's there, just deciding to make something out of whatever I find.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're really working hard at not leaving the house, um, except for when we absolutely have to. We're allowed to go to the grocery store, obviously, but we're trying to limit those trips as well. So really helps you get creative. Like we have Easter coming up, and we want to make some Easter treats, for the kids. And we didn't necessarily think about that when we did our shopping, you know, 2 weeks ago. So now it's like, hey, what do we have that we can invent something special for them?
There you go. I've been
Yeah.
doing chocolate croissants and cinnamon with almonds and pecan croissants because I had a lot of croissant.
How many ways can you make a croissant?
I found out many ways. You could do all
That's awesome.
sorts of things.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so many things you could do for
And
sure.
Tony, I want to thank you for being in our community here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and for doing all the things that you do and sharing your compassion and love with our community. Thank you for being on the Vegan Pulse. I surely appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for all you do as well.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Vegan Pulse with your host, Nancy Arenas. Please follow us on Facebook, Vegan Pulse. And remember, if you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.